Hello, everyone, and welcome to the services portion of your settings training. This area houses the services that you offer, brief descriptions for your customers, and ways for you to set up its visibility on your website for online appointments, as well as for setting some other settings that are going to be good for your scheduler. So when we set these accounts up for you, we like to go ahead and add a few services in here for you so that you're not just starting from scratch. So the first thing I'm going to show you today is actually how to go in and edit a service that's already in the system. The first one we're going to look at is the lube and oil for diesel right here. When we click on this little pencil, the edit box is going to open for us. So we can go ahead and we can see the name of the service and a brief description of the service. Now, I recommend that you give good description in this description box. This is what will appear on your website for your customer, and we'll take a look at what that looks like in just a moment. But it's a really great way to do a couple of things. First of all, to educate your customer who maybe doesn't understand exactly what all is included in your service, or even what that service actually applies to. It's also a great opportunity for you to sell this service by telling them not only what it includes, but other things that might come along with it, like a basic inspection, and make it sound like a really good value for the money for them. Down here, you're going to put how long this appointment will take, the duration. Now, you're going to see another section right over here that's going to appear very similar. It's going to say deadline. The duration and the deadline set the length of the appointment so that your customer knows how long they're going to be booking their time for, but it's also going to set it for the system so that when the system schedules that appointment for you through your website, it knows how much time to actually block off on your scheduler. So that's why you're going to put it in both of those places. Now, if you'd like to add a price here, you absolutely can. If you have a baseline price for all of your oil changes, for example, you may want to put that price in there so your customer has an expectation. Some of your services that may include other items, such as alignments that can get more complicated, may require more time or more equipment. You may want to leave that blank, or in your description up here, you could actually put a starts at and a price. Regardless if you choose to put a price in here or not, what I recommend to all of my users is up here in the description to put the disclaimer, time and price may vary. It's just a good way to set an expectation for your customers that this service may take a little bit more time, or it may require some additional funds. Over here in the traction code, you can go ahead and leave this as a 0. This is something that we actually have plans for integration later on, and so this is not currently in use yet, but the field is going to require you to put something in there. Please go ahead and just put a 0 at this time. Down here in our select service category, this is most likely the most important part of this box. You want to make sure that whatever option you choose here actually applies to the service that you're offering here. This part is what's actually displayed on your website for your customer to see. This box is actually what matches your bay services, which we will see in our next video, and tells the system what bay that it can put that service into when you have a customer scheduling an online appointment. If this does not match, when your customer goes to your website, they may very well see that there are no times or days available for that appointment. So again, this is a very important box, and we will discuss how to tie this service to your bays in the next video. So we've already gone ahead and put this in as an oil change. Auto confirmation is our next box here. If a customer schedules an online appointment through your website, if you something simple, say for example, like an oil change, like we're working on here, Alltrac will automatically send them a confirmation saying, great, time, place, appointment confirmed. If you have this box unchecked, what will happen is you will get a message here in Alltrac that says you have an unconfirmed appointment. It gives you an opportunity to take a look at the appointment and see if there's any additional information that you need to gather on it. If you don't, you can hit a button that says automatically confirm, and it sends the confirmation to the customer. Online service. Is this an appointment that you would like your customers to be able to schedule online through your website? Now, again, because you have that auto confirmation over here, you still definitely have control, say for a more complicated appointment like an alignment, if they go on there to kind of put eyes on it before they get a confirmation. So feel free to go ahead and list some online appointments and have some of them be an auto confirmation that you don't ever have to touch and they just show up on your schedule and you move forward. and turn off the auto confirmation for ones that you would like to be able to take a look at before. But having them online gives your customers the opportunity to go and schedule those appointments and know that they're available, to be able to select dates and times, and it saves you a little bit of time on the phone for sure. Once we've made our changes and our updates here, we're going to go ahead and hit save. So now we have this lube and oil for diesel. We have our description, and let's take a look at what that would actually look like on your website. Right now on most of your websites, on this right-hand side is a blue box. It looks very similar to this one, but basically it's where your customers can go in and actually email a request for an appointment. That box will now change to be able to list out the name of the service and the description that you had just set in Alltrac. Let's take an example of a good opportunity here. For example, this full synthetic oil change. An oil change, we're all pretty familiar with that. But this one actually comes with a little bit extra. Tops off of all basic fluids, an alignment check, a 3D scan of tread depths, a 30-point inspection. That's a very good value for my money. I'm definitely going to go to this location. Because if I was just looking online or just calling around, most people are going to say, oh yeah, sure, we've got an oil change. But this comes with a lot, and I actually feel like I have a good value for my money in this appointment. Now let's look at how to add a new service. So if there wasn't something on the list here that actually pertained to what you'd like to set and you wanted to make an all new one, you can come up here and hit new service. So you're going to go here and you're going to first put in the name of your service. So let's just say, for example, that we're going to actually set up a full inspection. Check for typos, because remember, this is going to go on your website. And then you can put in a description. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to say that we are going to check of all tires, fluids, alignments, etc. You can put whatever you'd like to in here. Duration, I'm going to tell them that this is going to take approximately 30 minutes. And deadline 30 minutes for the system to know how long to schedule this appointment for. Now we're going to set a price over here. I'm going to say that this service is $45. We're going to put a 0 in our traction code for now. And we're going to select our service category so that Alltrac knows where to place this appointment. I'm going to come to the list here, and I'm going to scroll down until I see what we're looking for here. Inspections. I'm going to say that, yes, this is an auto confirmation. I know that this is just going to take 30 minutes and I feel comfortable with letting customers schedule this. And yes, I would like this to appear on my website as an appointment that they can actually schedule through there. And then I'm going to hit save. It will now be on my list. I have a lot on here because this is my testing one. Right there. Now, when we were in here and we had that really important service category here, let's say, for example, that we did not see something on this list that actually applied to the service that we were attempting to offer. You can actually create a new one right down here. It's very simple. You just click on new category and you just enter the name of what you would like it to be called. And that is the services section of your settings. If you have any questions, of course, we're always here for you. If you navigate over to the help and support section, you actually have Thomas's phone number there. He's our wonderful Alltrac support. If you have any glitches or bugs or questions outside of this training, definitely feel free to reach out to him, or you can actually reach out to me as well at 971-201-5512, Regina Lee at pointstire.com. Thank you so much for spending this time with us today. We hope that it was helpful.
Hey, you want more training in Alltrac? Then feel free to check out our training video playlist here on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching this video today, and you have an amazing day.